Welcome to Pot of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting, brought to you by Blue Microphones. They look good. They look great. They sound good. They sound great. They sound even better.
I'm enjoying how they sound. I'll have to say, as far as sound goes, a lot of singers are kind of known for having had an incredible voice and then losing it at a certain point. Andy still has not lost any of the qualities of his voice during the intro.
Which never were... Oh, during the quality of the intro. Okay, I was going to say, I never had any quality singing voice, so... All I have is that intro.
It's like day one when you do that.
He takes care of himself.
That's
we don't have to tune down on this show.
Yep.
Of course, he's not 70 either, so check back in about 30 years.
Well, you know who it is, right? You know me.
Here's my buddy Andy.
And as always, I'm joined by...
Bam! Bam!
It's Gnarly Nick, the Garlic Dragon.
Whew, that smells good.
And there's a guy on the end of the couch over there who was once described like this.
He was a moocher, a card cheat, a country club golf hustler, a scumbag.
Totally says chic. Listen
That's
to
not. It's just the quality of the YouTube video that we stole it from.
A card chic. Every week it's going to be the card chic.
I expect Wooly Bully to be playing every time he comes in.
I think we should ask the fourth individual in the room if there's any discrepancies as to what we hear on that.
So big surprise. Fourth individual in the room. Nick's mom, my mom, Chris Jones. There she is.
You like that, huh?
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks.
How is everybody?
We're good. Thank you for joining us.
So does
My
he...
pleasure.
Give her a little juice on that mic.
Okay.
She doesn't bring it from the diaphragm like her son Andy.
You know what the problem is?
She's not a seasoned pro.
Well, that too, but we have 3 blue microphones. We've been cheated out of a fourth.
You mean I don't have a blue microphone?
No, you were.
Okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah, well,
You're leaving.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
yeah, that's why she's got her purse right next to her.
I have my purse ready to go.
Okay, she's ready to leave, ready to be driven out of this room by what we talk about. So
She accepts no
she
substitutes.
does not.
No.
Sounds good though. Why don't you
Okay.
give her a little volume there?
There you go. We're all good.
You treated her to the quality blue headphones though.
Yeah.
So
That's the
Okay.
least a son could do for a
Thank
mother.
you very much.
And I gave her the
Exactly
good chair, like
Right.
a real
Yeah,
gentleman.
nice chair.
After 4 in the morning, a 4 in the morning birth or whenever that was, it's the least you can do.
Yeah, you're right.
You were the
Yeah,
you were the only one with an inconvenient
that
hour.
was
4:21 in the morning.
and that was only the beginning of the nightmares Andy would subject her to over the course of several decades.
It lasted for a while,
Yet
but I think
she's
it's,
here.
Yeah,
So.
I think it finally wore off. But thank you, Mom, for joining us for
No,
the
it's
big.
my pleasure, and I really enjoy the program.
You do. You listen to every episode,
And
right?
I'm one of those
Multiple
listeners. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I listen to it at least 10 times every episode. No joke.
At least 10.
Probably more sometimes.
Okay.
I know that's probably weird, maybe, but that's what I do.
It's
I don't
probably
know if there's anyone else
probably
out
a
there.
record, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I've heard of people listening to the set of episodes repeatedly, but each episode 10 times.
For that
is-
week, that's my entertainment.
All right. Well, that brings me to the question that is just at the top of mind. You listened, obviously, to the Up for Breakfast episode.
I did,
right?
yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
Everybody
I-
wants to know.
I thought it was childish also.
You did.
Like what you said for a 56 or 7-year-old man.
Yeah. It wasn't like he was 17.
Kind of embarrassing where you want to just...
Slap him, maybe?
maybe.
Yeah.
take them out behind the shed and show them what's what.
There you go.
Act your age.
There might be one of my mom's sons out there urinating, though, if you go behind the shed back in the old days.
That's true, since we only had one
One
washroom.
bathroom. Yeah.
bathroom.
Yep, 3 boys, mom and dad, and 1 toilet. So
Nothing wrong with it. I
Yeah.
do it myself. I got
sometimes
3 toilets in my house, 2 human beings. I still go out.
Do you?
Yeah, why not?
you're at one with nature.
Yeah. Plus, who doesn't want to conserve the planet's most precious resource, which is water?
That's true. That's a good point. Can't knock you for that.
I wonder what song, what ringtone goes off on Chris's phone when he's behind the shed. I wonder if Andy.
I don't know. Why don't we find out?
You want to hold on? I got to turn on the.
Let's find out right now.
I've muted my phone before recording because I am a professional, but I will unmute.
I'm just curious if Chris is standing out
Hold
back.
on, let me make sure the volume's up. Okay.
What comes on?
I'm calling Chris right now. Let's see what happens. He's behind the shed.
Very apropos.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
good. That's the best time for a phone call to come in.
Yeah. And when I'm back behind the shed, I don't think I'm going pee. I know I'm going pee. I make it worth my while. It's not like a half pee. I go out there when I'm fully loaded.
Is there
a lot
any
of pressure on that stream, just jetting across the back of the backyard.
No,
The Chihuahuas have to watch themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's happened a couple times.
Is that your way of letting them know who's daddy in the house?
Well, it's a bonding ritual.
Oh, okay. I thought it was more of like a territory.
It's that pack mentality.
Yeah, I would almost.
That is part of it.
Yeah.
Establishing myself
I would almost-
as the alpha.
I
Yeah.
would almost think there'd be competition there. Like they'd smell it and be like, "Oh no, absolutely not."
Well, that kind of happens too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Chris ups the ante and turns around.
Oh boy.
That I haven't done yet, but I'm not ruling it out.
Yeah. So, what are we doing? Are we doing random this week? What's
Well,
the
it
rules?
was my choice off the listener submission list, which I'm going to donate
Oh,
to our mother.
that's the least you could do for all of
That's
the
the least-
worry and aggravation you've given her.
Yeah.
Mom, which son is your favorite? Let's get it out of the way now.
Oh,
Who's the
no.
number 1 son?
No, all 3.
Oh, okay. Thought I'd get it. If I surprised you
You
with it, I
too,
thought I'd
Jay.
get an
You
answer.
too, Jay.
Okay, fine.
Does Jay listen 10 times a week?
I
don't
doubt
know.
it.
Yeah,
I know he listens every week.
He's
but
got bigger fish to fry, bitching about the Cubs
Well.
and or his job, one or the other.
Yeah.
Notre Dame
Yeah.
football.
Bulls are
Bulls.
coming around.
Bears.
Bears.
Yeah. What did he say after week 1? Well, my Sundays are freed up now. Yeah.
Did he say that?
Yeah. After 1 week of loss, he's given up on the team. You didn't raise him like that, did you? To be that to give up on something that quickly? What happened to him?
You might have
over
to give
the
him a
years?
talking to.
Maybe I do have to give him a talking to.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Give him the Sammy Hagar treatment. Take him out back, bop him upside the head, and tell him to have a little more faith and a little more loyalty.
Is that what Sammy did?
I'm just saying that,
That's what Chris wants to do to Sammy.
Oh, I got it.
he deserves a shot upside the head for breakfast.
Oh, okay, makes
Your
sense.
eldest son Jay deserves the same treatment for his outbursts on Facebook
There you
about
go.
sports teams, among
Jay.
other things.
Yep. Okay, so you're donating your pick
I am.
to Mom Jones.
Now she's picking off the list, or
It's
how's
off the
this gonna
list.
work?
I am.
It
Off
is
the
off
list.
the list.
Off the
Really?
list.
I am privy to it.
Okay, I'm
I-
scared of this.
There's only
because-
2 people that were privy to it, and that's Nick and the refrigeration repairman.
You told him
I did.
your choice?
I did.
So, is he a big fan?
He gave. Yeah, he is actually.
What?
Yeah. It would just so happen.
Not of us. Of,
Oh
of,
no!
of the, of the song.
Dad,
Okay,
of course. Dad, of course, told him about the
Okay.
podcast.
Of course.
But about the band.
It's grassroots marketing like that.
Yeah.
Tell your refrigerator repairman.
Yeah.
Tell a friend. Tell a repairman. Whatever it
you
takes.
never know. He might be listening.
Yeah, that's right.
Hi, Alex, if you're listening.
Alex, welcome to the program, Alex.
Thanks for not spoiling it before Monday rolled
And
around.
next
Alex.
time my refrigerator acts up, come over and fix it for free.
There you
How's
go.
that?
That's how.
It's a treatment we deserve. It's running the America's
But the
favorite podcast.
temporary,
Sure.
you'll have to temporarily use the mini fridge you have behind the shed. Whenever anything goes wrong, going behind the shed. That's where all the backup stuff is.
Well, you never know if you need a do while you're taking a leak in the backyard.
I still got the reach-in freezer from the cafe in the shed.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah. Things run like a top.
Wow. Okay. And that's been gone for 13 years, that place.
Oh, the freezer itself has got to be at least 30 years old. When
And
they
Wow.
built stuff to last,
They sure
quality
did.
stuff.
Yeah, mine's only 3 years old, and I had trouble.
See, it's crap. It's
and-
all crap.
and-
Disposable crap.
Yeah.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
It really
Especially
is.
when it's like $2,000 or whatever it is, $1,500, and then it breaks in 3 years.
And then I had to wait like a month.
That's what I wanted to bring up. Can you believe that? No refrigerator for a month to get it fixed.
Luckily,
Well,
we
'cause
had
you-
one in the garage.
Because you did the warranty repair, right? Was it under warranty?
Yes.
So that's, warranties are great until you got to fucking use it. Then it's not on your terms
No.
ever.
No.
And the time you get pushed down to the bottom of the list because they get a little stipend from the manufacturer, but they're not getting their full rate to fix that shit.
Well, I had to wait a week to get a first repairman to come out.
See?
And he wasn't anything to do with the company. It was just somebody called. And then once he diagnosed the problem, then he told me I had to call the manufacturer.
Exactly.
Then I had to wait
Making it
another
your
week.
problem again.
Right. Then I had to wait another week. And then I waited a week because I thought maybe it was fixed, but I didn't think it was cold enough. So I called again, and then I had to wait another week.
Yeah, it's horseshit.
Yeah, there you go. Who is that? Gene?
Gene.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
It's like they
Down in-
lure you in with the warranty to get you to buy the thing, and that's great and all. But when you have to use it, like I said, it is absolutely not on your terms. You have to do the legwork, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't fucking break.
Telling me with this.
It shouldn't break 3 years into it.
That's right.
Simply outrageous.
That was our mom on the phone waiting for. It's going to be another week. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Great.
Anyway.
Anyway.
All right,
yeah.
so was this a random pick off the list, or did she scan the list? I should ask her. She's sitting right over there. Let me ask you. Random pick off the list, or did you scan it, pick something you were interested in? How did this work?
Well, Nick told me it was on the list. And it
okay.
had something to do with when I was younger.
Oh.
So I just
So
thought,
not that long ago.
right. Oh, thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. So that's how I picked it.
All right. Well, that works. It's interesting. It's off the list. That
Yeah, it's off
surprises
the
me.
list.
So we got a lot of garbage on that list.
Yeah.
And it's something. Well, you'll wait till we
Okay.
get into it.
Do you want to do the intro? Does Nick want to do the intro? Who wants to do
I want Nick to do
Okay,
the
I'll do
intro.
it.
Yeah, you kind of need to know like all the particulars. Not that she doesn't.
I don't.
necessarily.
You have to be
Well,
ready
don't.
for
Okay,
it.
she doesn't.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Well, it's time to turn the microphone over to our pal.
The
Chris-
other Chris J,
Ah, right.
Yes.
Yes.
who's now being
Oh,
The
that's right.
real CJ.
Oh boy.
Wait, which one's the real one?
well,
the
Hey,
one
now.
here right now.
Well, the CJ whose nickname is Tooge is what, a D-list celebrity?
Mhm.
This CJ is at least C-level,
Okay.
Oh,
if
okay,
not B.
thank
Okay.
Oh, I don't know about
Yeah.
that, but okay, thanks, Chris.
Deserves better than that refrigerator horse shit she went through.
Yeah. All right, you ready, Nick?
Yes.
All right, Hamel. This one's called
$1 Billion Babies.
Off of
$1 Billion Babies.
by the band.
Alice Cooper.
Ow!
Ooh, indeed. $1 billion baby.
Handpicked by your mother, this song.
And
That
I brought
is pretty
her
awesome.
original LP that she purchased
Oh, look at
at the
that.
time of its release.
You purchased this at the time of its release, like on the day it came out?
I
or-
don't know, and that I'm going to admit something. I don't even know if I know the song.
Okay.
It's
now
one of those-
I'm confused.
So it's one
well,
of those things.
I think I bought it because one of my friends bought it, and I don't remember I don't know if I know the song, and I didn't want to listen before tonight's.
Okay, that's good. That's typically how we like to do things.
So
we like to,
I'm going to be surprised.
It's got the giant $1 billion bill
Wow.
here.
I'll bet you that you can't find too many of those anymore.
Probably not.
When do you think was the last time you heard this?
She's not
Maybe
sure
never?
she's ever heard
I don't
it.
know
Maybe
if
never.
I don't know what it sounds like. I was going
Yeah.
to listen before tonight, but I thought that might ruin it.
So why did you pick it?
Because of that album and
Because we've
something.
had it since.
We've had it.
So you bought the album when it came out,
Yes.
but you didn't listen to it.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
She probably listened. I'm going to take a guess and say you listened to it and probably didn't. It didn't grab you, and you probably didn't. You put it away and don't
Maybe
remember.
So. Maybe
But
so.
you bought it because somebody else had it. So
Right.
is the cool kids were buying Alice Cooper albums, and you just got on.
Yeah, I
board
was
with
not a
that?
cool kid. I just bought it.
However, though, we were
Really?
talking about some of the shows that you went to in around this time. And before this, you saw Dave Clark 5 around what year?
Oh, let's see.
Was it like a first original wave of the British
maybe
invasion?
64 or 65.
So that was, height of
because
the British invasion.
they came downtown Hammond to the Parthenon.
It's before I was even born.
Yeah.
That is a long time ago.
Oh, stop it.
And we were looking it up. Okay, so you saw Deep Purple in Chicago. Was it? You said what year was it?
I'm thinking 73-ish.
Okay, so you saw them, and we were looking it up of who they would have been touring with,
Right,
and it was Billy Preston and ZZ Top.
right.
Wow.
Like
Jeez.
right, and we looked it up. It was it was like a month before Trace Hombres came out.
Oh man.
That might have been
And-
the show I went to because I do remember seeing Billy Preston doing that Willie Go Round in Circles.
So you were probably in line to get some nachos, and you missed Easy Top.
I probably did.
So it was like the Deep Purple,
I don't
Machine
remember.
Head.
So it was the Mach 2 lineup. It wasn't David Coverdale yet.
No, it would have been. It would have been.
It was right on the cusp
yeah.
there. You never know.
So that's a pretty impressive.
Now, was
show
that
to
at
go
Chicago Stadium? Where was that one at?
to. It was International Amphitheater.
I
Okay.
think.
Was it loud in there? They were known
It was
for being
loud and it was very foggy, if you
Yeah.
catch my drift.
Yeah, we catch it. I catch it.
And I wasn't one of those kids either, but I was there, so
Yeah, well, that's what they call a contact high.
there
right?
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
I remember.
and
I
then,
remember the terminology.
Hasn't escaped you yet.
And
Nope.
you saw. How many times did you see Chicago
Maybe 3,
in the 70s?
probably only 2 in the 70s.
And then
And then-
once, like in the
and
late
And then
90s
with
or
like
something.
the pussified Peter Cetera driven band of soft rock hits of the
Well,
80s.
No, it was later.
No,
it was like 99
This
or
was the-
something.
this was the
last-
test.
Oh, you bypassed that whole era. Yeah.
Because
okay.
Nick went, right?
I went in 95.
Oh,
Is that when
95.
we went?
Okay.
Yeah.
But you went like during the Terry Kath era.
Yeah.
Wow. That's another feather in the cap.
So you're like the rock and roll Forrest Gump, basically.
I guess.
You just you
I,
were at all
in
I
this
was
room,
at the
she
right
is.
place at the right time, but didn't know that I was.
Yeah, in this room she is.
You saw Billy Preston, the fifth Beatle, on the
Yeah, the fifth. I just found out he was the fifth Beatle.
right around the time of his biggest hit.
For some reason, when you said Billy Preston at first, I thought you meant Billy Paul, and I was like, "That's an
Ooh,
odd choice
that would be- that
to
would
be
be
on
good.
that tour." And then
Billy,
oh,
Preston would kind of be interesting though with Deep Purple.
No,
right?
it is. It is different. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And then ZZ Top.
Oh, they
Opening
were,
up.
Yeah, they were in prime form then, I'm sure. And then Mach 2, Deep Purple. That's quite a triple bill. Jeez.
So this album came out in 1973.
Okay.
What album? But this is this the big album, like the coming out party for Alice Cooper?
It's like the.
Is this his
is
Destroyer?
This is kind of like the celebratory.
Like right after that?
It's like at their height, I think. But then they broke up. What was this the last album with the original Alice Cooper group? If I may.
That I don't know. That's.
I mean, because it was
I don't know.
only
Let's ask Mom. Mom, give us all the history.
Oh yeah, right.
because it was only
Lay it on us.
Keep going around the room.
This was only a couple years before Welcome to My Nightmare, and that was I don't know. I'm sure a lot of listeners know this for sure, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know if that was the first album without the original group, where it was more just like a solo album for Alice Cooper, for Vincent Fournier.
Detroit native, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, we have No More Mr. Nice Guy is obviously the big radio staple off of this.
Quickly, I pulled this up. So School's Out was the album before it in 72.
That was the groundbreaker.
Yeah.
So that was the one, and then this is after. And then there was one more album as a group before it turned into his solo
I
career.
can't think of what it was.
Same year
As this?
as
73?
73, Muscle of Love.
Oh, right.
Mom, cover your ears.
Okay.
Oh.
No, I told you, don't hold back.
Okay.
Well, in the spirit of that, Mama Jones, I'm frankly surprised you didn't pick Raped and Freezing from this album.
Track 2. I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that,
It's-
but I saw that and I was like,
this-
"Geez, is this a Guar album?" Raped
Hey,
and
I'll
Freezing.
bet you Guar will acknowledge their influence
I'm
by the Alice Cooper group.
Got to be more than anything else.
Yeah.
Right?
I Love the Dead could have been a Guar song.
Sure,
So they influenced Guar?
for sure.
I would
with all the
imagine so.
decapitating.
Yeah, any band,
Magic.
any band that does any sort of macabre theatrics on stage,
Nooses and
if,
so.
if
yeah.
they're
Oh,
not
okay.
if they're not acknowledging Alice Cooper, they're either ignorant or
Or dishonest.
well, yeah, right, exactly. Good,
And
good
Kiss,
finish.
there's a Kiss. There's a story about Kiss. I think all four of them went to go see Alice Cooper when they were just kind of starting. They just gotten together, trying to figure it out, and were I don't know. Somebody said, "What if there was a band with 4 Alice Coopers?"
Oh, okay.
That's I heard that somewhere. Yeah, so
Okay.
definitely a big influence on a lot of people, and
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. Everybody will say it. Rob Zombie, go down the list.
Yeah.
Anybody who
Sure.
does anything macabre on stage. it's
Marilyn
all
Manson.
Back to the beginning. Well, yes,
Of course.
yeah.
I mean, that's probably the
Well, and
most
all of
direct.
it.
and that was what it was.
That Hard Rock Countdown show. Is that what you're going to mention?
No. There was an Alice Cooper quote, which of course I have to paraphrase because I don't remember, but it was about Marilyn Manson.
I think that's what I'm talking about. He said it on that
where
countdown.
it was like, oh, a female name.
yeah.
Like I forgot exactly how he said it, but basically you have Alice Cooper and then Marilyn Manson. He's like,
He's
oh,
like saying-
that sounds familiar, you know.
Yeah. Wonder where he got that from, kind of thing. But yeah.
But it's like the same with Kiss, in my opinion. The theatrics are great, but if the music's not there, then you're not going to have a 50-year career like he's had.
and he's
Well, the music is obviously there. I don't
Yeah,
know
so-
anybody who would question that.
he's nuts in the sense that he is as hardworking of a touring musician as anyone.
Yeah.
He's constantly touring.
It's like him and Nugent are they got to be about the same
Like-
age, and they've been around for a long time.
It's I don't even know if he takes breaks. I'm sure he takes breaks to go home, but it's like constantly on the road, always swinging
Yeah.
through this area, like at least once a year, probably. He's never not touring, and then he does his radio show. He's a busy guy.
Yeah, I
27
I heard about
albums.
that. Excuse me.
His show.
But I heard about that radio.
Don't ever talk over me again.
I'm so sorry.
I'm kidding.
But the refrigeration man told me about the program.
So
Okay.
So
Out of
Alex
Crown Point
has-
or something.
apparently we're second best. So.
It was what is that? 93.9 does
Oh, God. X-Rock.
Nights with
Yeah.
Alice Cooper.
But yeah, they pick that up on different. This is syndicated or whatever across the
doesn't
country.
Chris know one of the DJs on that
Yeah.
station?
Chris actually is the beret salesman to one of the DJs.
Yeah. Yeah, Alice Cooper gravitates to greatness. That's why his show is on that station.
Nick, have you ever seen Alice Cooper?
I saw Alice Cooper open for Motley Crue on the tour with my older brother, who's not here, but So it was, I guess, an abbreviated set somewhat because he was opening, but it was fantastic. I mean, he came out to the opening track of this album, Hello Hooray, and I got goosebumps like right away. It was great. Loved it.
Mom, have you seen Alice Cooper? Did we cover that?
No, I did
No, we
not.
didn't, right? Okay. We just talked about buying that album.
Did not.
Did not
Sorry.
see Alice
Now,
Cooper.
Andy and I saw him together
We
at
did.
the Horseshoe Casino a few years ago.
wow.
A friend
Yeah.
of mine gave his tickets to us, and it was a great show.
It was.
He's one of those guys where, obviously, what'd you say, 27 albums or whatever?
27
I mean,
studio albums.
all that material, it's relentless hit after hit, memorable song after memorable song for the whole set. And he's one of these guys that he's definitely in his 70s by now, right?
It's got to be.
Surrounds himself with younger guys, keeps the act vital.
He's got the
Ton. Not that he's clearly in shape,
and he
has-
sounds great still.
Yeah, oh yeah,
He's
He's
71.
kind of like Andy in there. Right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Sounds
Yeah.
great.
His voice is not
Looks great,
degenerated at
sounds
all.
even
I
better.
wouldn't go. Well, he's in shape. Let's put it.
I need
that
to start surrounding myself with younger
He's
guys.
Never, yeah. Well, there you go. That's how it's.
Chris has
done.
been talking about that for years.
Well, I've done it, and it hasn't gotten me anywhere. So maybe you'll have better luck with
Okay.
that formula.
Thank you.
But he's in shape. I mean, looks good is a relative term. He's never been what you would call a handsome man,
Right.
But full of energy.
We're still talking about Alice Cooper, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And
Started sweating.
going back to what you said, I mean, if the music isn't there, he comes and goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, you see him live. Every song is on point. You remember it. A few of his hits from the '80s, Poison. Love that song.
Yeah.
I mean, he's another one of these guys. We've talked about it before with Kiss, and I think the Scorpions are another band we mentioned that are 70s, or even in the Scorpions' case, a 60s band that remained relevant in the 80s. You could put Alice Cooper in that
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 2 or 3 successful albums, videos on MTV. I mean, he was doing it.
He had that buffed up dude. I forgot his name, but he had
Nobody cares.
He had that
what his
lineup
name
with like
is.
8 guitar players, and they were all huge.
Yeah, and that got a little stupid, but I mean, getting back to the music.
But the
stuff
music
like
was there. Yeah.
Poison, Hey Stupid is still in the set.
Feed My Frankenstein
That-
is a highlight of the
it's in
show.
the set, yeah.
I remember, was it second or third grade? We had show and tell. I brought
This
my.
is going to be a good story.
I brought one of our little cassette player recorder portable ones, and I brought my copy of "Raise Your Fist and Yell" by Alice Cooper as my as my show and tell item.
And like to listen to?
Yeah, just hey, this is what I'm bringing in.
Were they like, okay?
Well, I was excited about
Yeah.
it.
and Mrs. Jones's phone was ringing about 5 minutes after that.
Teacher let you listen to it?
A little bit. She was
bit.
she
Pulled it off the turntable.
She had the teacher had a son who was the same age as our older brother. You probably know who I'm talking about. Mrs. K, I'll just say it was.
Oh, yes.
And she was hip to
Right.
what was going on with what the kids were listening to. So she was a bit cautious.
As well she should have been.
But we were just listening to Freedom. That's all.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, there's probably some other cuts on there that might have run afoul of school guidelines. Who knows?
And then just to tie it all together to Kiss podcast, didn't you trade that tape copy for your vinyl copy of Alive? Or is that the wrong tape?
I don't remember.
I thought you traded. You made a trade to this guy that
I'd have to
lived
say
on
that was a good trade.
the next
if I
street
did.
over. Yeah, I thought that's what it was. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But anyway,
It could be, but I don't remember that.
and that's how we got the vinyl copy of Alive. Let's just go with my story as being fact.
It's better.
Nick traded
It's
the
better than me
cassette.
not-
I think it is, Andy.
The cassette for Raise Your Fist and Yell for the double LP of Kiss Alive. And there you go. Kiss fandom was born, and now we have Pot of Thunder 30 years later, roughly,
Yeah.
probably. So there you go. All right, let me pop open the list and see who submitted this song,
Oh,
just
that's
so we
right.
can give proper credit.
I've got it here if you want to know.
Okay, go ahead. If you've got it.
Rick Napoli.
Oh, man, Rick Napoli was lighting it up on our Facebook.
Yeah, you know.
My God, Rick.
This is well, you know, and he's parlayed it into choosing the song for this
yeah,
week. So.
yeah. Good for you, Rick.
Essentially akin to showing up to grade school with a copy of Raise Your Fist and Yell for show and tell. But, yeah, assuming he's still participating in the community, hasn't been driven out by some of the people, you know.
Long
great
story short,
choice.
Chris posted something that was from a current news story with the 16-year-old girl speaking to the United Nations, and it turned into a political debate between several listeners, which I don't think was the intention. It was supposed to be a reference.
And what a week for me that I had to see that happen, and my kid's soccer game didn't get to be finished because the adults were yelling at each other, and then everybody left.
They canceled the game.
They canceled
Yeah.
the game. At the
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta
Well,
love
welcome to
it.
2019.
Yeah,
Were they
that's-
fighting about climate change?
end. They were actually.
Yeah.
They said, "How come it's not global warming anymore?"
And then the other half, they split up into halves, made a new team, and started yelling at each other.
Unreal.
But we have some comments here from Rick.
Oh, God.
Uh,
Should I get a bleep button ready? These comments.
So I don't-
God love you,
I don't
Rick.
know, I don't know what
Just made me laugh.
I don't know what Al Gore has to do with this album, but it's in here now. It says Neil Smith's brilliant drumming, a co-vocal from Donovan,
Didn't know that.
guitar from Steve Hunter, emphasis, if chosen, should be placed on Alice Cooper being a band, not a guy, even though this is the group at its highest high, entering into their final gasps.
There you go. Okay.
And that's
pretty much what we've been talking about.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know if technically Alice Cooper's name was officially changed at this point. I don't know when that happened, but it was the name of the band,
Right.
and then it just kind
It's
of
kind of
turned
like
into him.
yeah, and it's kind of like Jethro Tull. People say like, I love his stuff. It's not him. There's nobody named Jethro Tull in the band. It's named after
Like Leonard
somebody.
Skinner.
Yeah, I mean that's yes, it's similar, right?
When I worked at the music store, the day after they won the Best Album Grammy,
Yeah, right.
some lady came in and was saying, she was listening to Steely Dan. Oh, I love him. I love his.
Yeah.
He's so steely, that Dan.
I love Dan.
Whatever.
But
Now,
you know,
considering that Steely Dan is named after a fictional dildo, I'm sure she did love Steely
Is
Dan.
that right?
Yeah.
Really?
It's a dildo in some piece of literature, a book was named Steely Dan. That's where the name comes from.
Wow. Okay. See, who would have thought?
I wonder what book that was.
You'd have to look it up. But
You don't
I
read
don't.
books, do you?
I was actually asked this at a family gathering on Saturday.
Did you have a meltdown?
No, I just answered honestly. I haven't read a book for pleasure since early grade school.
Oh, really?
It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I'd
have
rather
to be.
listen to music 100 times out of 100.
Nothing wrong with
Once
that.
I discovered music, I didn't need books.
Who reads? That was one of the best rants in the history of the show.
It's a time thing. Nobody has enough. There's not enough time in the day to do all the shit that people claim they do. It's as simple as that.
That was a great argument, or not argument, great rant, because even though I've read books, there was a time where I really enjoyed it, and I have no spare time to read at this point in my
Nobody
life.
does.
So it actually struck a chord with me when you said it,
Right.
even though my reading career extended farther. But
Most people's do, but
But yeah,
Right.
it's just like, it's almost like laughable at this point. Like, book. Okay, give me a book. It's going to take me a year to read it if I try, because that's how many pages I'm going to get through per day.
yeah.
So-
I'm still not sure if you get the same kind of street cred if you listen to an audiobook. It takes a couple
Oh, like
hours,
a-
you absorb the same information, probably better.
Like a reading purist would criticize the audiobook consumption.
You have to
Well,
have the smell of the
You,
pages.
you simply don't reveal that information. Lying by omission is
Yeah.
See, I've
a
read that
viable
book.
tactic.
Yeah, that's the way to do
Yeah.
it.
Oh, and also we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the Bob Ezrin involvement in this album.
All right.
Production, songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
One of the more interesting characters in the annals of rock, Mr. Robert Ezrin. But this, as we'll hear, this just has his early 70s signature all over it.
So this is 73, and then he was working with Kiss a couple years later.
Destroyer,
Yeah.
76.
Yeah.
So this song,
Lou Reed in between somewhere, probably.
Okay.
this song closes out side one. In case anybody's wondering,
The title cut. One that Mama Jones has never heard before, so it's going to be
Possibly.
a new discovery for her.
So there's 4 songs on the side A or side 1 and 6 on the other?
Mary Ann's pretty short.
yeah. 222. Okay.
Yeah,
It's odd to not do 5 and 5, but if the lengths make sense,
Yeah.
that's the way it goes. Okay. Well, anything else? You guys ready to roll into it?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right. Well, without any further ado, here we go.
All right, so Rick wanted us to key in on the drums. Obviously, I saw a video on YouTube not long ago, maybe a week or two ago, like the top 20 drum intros in rock history. This was not on the list, and it should have been. I'd forgotten about it too, but you want to talk about a drum beat or a drum arrangement that defines the song. This is it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't imagine it with like a straight beat or any other beat for that matter. And the drums sound great. It's got that lo-fi 70s sound, but it's not. It's still potent. It still sounds like a drum set, but it's not over the top or not over the top enough. It's like right in the sweet spot, and
It's got a marching quality to it.
yeah,
And then when the guitar comes in, it's kind of just that note, the tone of the guitar. It's almost annoying sounding,
it's a little evil sound,
which I'm sure was what they were going for.
It is what they were going
They
for.
were all about. I don't know. Would you say not really disturbing, but
well, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, it's a guitar tone that sort of defined a lot of Ezrin's records and Steve Hunter playing on it. But when you mention that, I'm thinking of one of the things that people kind of if they're going to criticize the first couple Blizzard of Oz albums, they say, "Oh, the guitar tone is so thin and trebly and stuff," and that's one of the criticisms that they make about the Sabotage album and the albums 6 through 8 by Black Sabbath. But that kind of raspy, thin tone adds an evil element to it that is crucial to the music. I mean, similar to the drum beat, if it had like a big, woolly, warm, like Allman Brothers tone, it would not have nearly the same effect.
and
it's
this
not
is-
what you want.
and with the band being so theatric all the time, it makes perfect sense. I mean, this is and with Bob Ezrin, forget it. I mean, there's going to be attention to detail like that.
Yeah, he's pretty much everything he did was intentional, and it works here. What are your impressions so far?
Mine?
Yeah, you.
Oh boy. Great drum beat.
Go.
Do you recognize it yet or no?
No,
not
no.
yet. Okay. All right, let's
But
go.
the drum beat drew you in, though.
Yes,
It's like,
it did.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's it hits you right away, and only gets better from here.
And we're going to get some Thin Lizzy-esque guitar harmonies coming
There you
up
go.
here.
Oh, come on. There.
There's
a lot going on
I never
there.
really noticed
going on
the
there.
wah pedal underneath that. I'm listening to it in headphones, probably for the first time ever. Usually,
Yeah, I never
usually
really
it
know-
was on the record player
Yeah.
or in the car.
I never noticed that either.
And it was Thin Lizzy-esque, and then they took it a little bit further to where it wasn't as easy harmony to listen to.
Yeah.
There was some dissonance in there, and which then goes back to what Chris was saying, that it's got that disturbing, evil kind of a feel that it gives you.
Yeah, and just the harmonies between the guitars has got that little bit of dissonance going on that it's not necessarily welcoming and pleasing to the ear. It's a little jarring, and it's what you want.
What did you think, Mom? Is it a little weird, or is this something that if you had made it to this song in 1973, would you have been like,
Probably I'd switch
Yeah.
Chicago.
yeah, because
All
yeah,
right.
Go back to the Camelot record that we're
Maybe
listening
so,
to
maybe
before we
so.
started.
Yeah, I mean this is not what you would say is music for chicks. So, but one of the iconic tunes in the Cooper catalog.
So we had
What's going on there?
I'm going to read from the actual liner notes of the album, so we're not messing around today.
Oh, we're not going to go to some weird website with someone's interpretation that
It's going to kill you.
it's going to kill you like last week. Yeah. Okay.
So Alice Cooper sang the following stanza.
He was first, right?
He was first, and then Donovan has
Who's Donovan? I don't know.
Donovan, he was like a Bob Dylan-esque kind of guy at first, and
Yeah, and yes. At first he was more of like just a sort of a pop star, and then he developed this fascination with Bob Dylan. Which you a Bob Dylan fan at all over there?
Not really.
No. The Don't Look Back movie is like Donovan appears in that. Like it's more of a documentary, but like he's clearly a Dylan wannabe, and there's a great sequence in there where Dylan just like destroys him in front of a room full of people,
Really?
exposes him as being a major poser.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. It's that's one of the better rock movies out there. But yeah, I didn't even until this episode I didn't realize there was a second vocalist. I mean the vocal tones are in the same ballpark. I mean that had to have been an Ezrin decision, which is a pretty damn good one.
And
I think.
the part that we're going to hear when Andy hits play again is it's the two voices
Together.
sort of together.
Mm-hmm. It was like one Alice Cooper or whatever, Vincent, whatever he was at the time, did the first chunk. Then Donovan.
Yeah.
Was Donovan like had his coolness worn off by the time he would have been on this?
I think so. Yeah.
So was this similar to Suge Knight pairing up Hammer with Tupac?
It's possible. That's not a bad
Is that to do
analogy.
pumps and a bump? Maybe. All right. Maybe not.
Yeah, but wasn't Tupac just a Digital Underground dancer?
Well,
AKA an MC Hammer
I mean,
poser.
just a.
Wasn't he an
obviously-
MC Hammer poser
Yeah.
for a while there?
Yeah,
Shouldn't
but
Hammer have exposed him in front of a room full of people?
Well, but Hammer is not a Dylan-esque character in the
Right.
annals of rap.
Yeah.
So we have Billion Dollar Baby, Rubber Little Lady, Slicker Than a Weasel, Grimy as an Alley, Loves Me Like No Other Lover. And then Donovan. That's the opening.
Are we talking about a sex doll here with the
Sounds like it.
second
Rubber Little Lady. I don't know. That's yeah.
This is getting a little awkward.
Then Donovan says, Billion Dollar Baby, Rubber Little Monster, Baby I Adore You, Man or Woman Living Couldn't Love Me Like You, Baby.
Man, oh, look at that.
I think I never paid any attention to the lyrics, but I'm thinking this is an ode to an inflatable
Well, that's a nice song. I think.
novelty.
Jeez, Mom.
Wow.
There's another song that comes to mind.
We've already talked about dildos, so this
might as well just keep going.
It's a logical progression.
I believe Andy Summers wrote the Police song "Sally," and it's called, I think it's "Be My Girl" /Sally, which is about the same thing. His ode to a plastic little lady.
Oh. The good news is once you join the police, you don't have a need for that stuff anymore. Just take your pick from real live groupies after every show.
A lot of women into the police back in the day.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But
did you like the Police, Mom, back then? Or did you not really care about
I
them?
didn't know much about too many bands. I probably like a lot of songs. I may even like some Bob Dylan, but I don't know who the songs are by.
Yeah.
So
unless it's Chicago, then
I would know,
she
but
knows everyone.
Or Flying Aaron's, big Flying Aaron's fan.
I know I am Flying Aaron's fan. I know a lot more Kiss now because of you guys.
Sure. That makes sense.
I mean,
Oh, so do we.
Yeah.
a lot more vocabulary.
Yeah, I'll bet.
No,
Comes in handy when you're dealing with the refrigerator, apparently. Salty language.
no, he was a nice guy. He was,
No, I'm sure.
I
yeah.
liked him until I learned that he listens to Alice Cooper show more than he listens to ours. He's
Yeah.
out in my book.
well,
I'm
he didn't
just
know about
kidding,
you
yeah.
guys except
Well,
for
that's-
Dad. No,
That's not a me problem. That's
No.
an Alex problem.
Exactly.
He's out. Just kidding, Alex. All right, let's keep going.
Go dancing nightly in the attic while the moon is rising in the sky. If I'm too rough, tell me. I'm so scared your little head will come off in my hands.
Some weird shit going on there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, I mean, it must be these blue headphones, but I've never quite heard this song in this way before. I'm not even intoxicated. It's quite the, you don't get the same effect on FM radio, really. It's never jumped out at me before, or even I had no idea that it was Donovan singing, but now it makes sense. It's like, yeah, he did Hurdy-Gurdy Man, if you're familiar with that one. It's probably his big hit, like his psychedelic hit. And this is kind of in that ballpark of just spoken word weirdness going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the way Alice Cooper, it's total Alice Cooper voice, unmistakable what he's doing. And then this weird Britishy kind of posh Britishy kind of spoken word thing over. It's I can't think of another song that does that. I don't know every song out there, obviously, but I can't think of another one where someone's singing a lyric and then you have at the same time at a different pace sort of someone reciting it.
Yeah.
It's very strange. We go dancing nightly in the attic while the moon is rising in the sky. If I'm too rough, tell me. I'm so scared your little head will come off in my hand.
I caught that part.
This
This
is a
is-
sex doll up in the attic.
This is the kind of
That's what's
album you were
happening.
buying when you were
I
20.
guess. My goodness.
Jeez, what the hell?
I know.
No wonder all the cool kids were buying this album. So it never occurred to me what this song is about, but it's clear to me now. Very interesting. Why would you take it all the way to the attic? Why go to the trouble?
hide from somebody.
Yeah, maybe,
There you go.
Maybe it's a younger person living with their parents or
There you
something.
go.
I don't know. I'm grasping for straws here, but there's got to be a reason to hide.
But the attic would be low on the list of options.
Well,
Wouldn't
no
it?
one's coming up there.
No, that's
It's
true.
It's too hot up there.
Yeah, that's where they just hit the ceiling with a broom and say, "Quiet down up there." No one's
Plus,
gonna actually come see what you're doing.
It's probably not going to get too drafty up there, so the rubber or plastic isn't going to get that dried, cracky kind of quality.
But you're gonna stick to it, so that might be a
Now
problem
that
too.
you bring some talc. That's what it's for.
You go up there with a gym bag full of supplies.
Yeah, exactly.
Barley.
Well, you remember, maybe you don't, but with the Spice catalog, it was, we would sell some of these things, and they would come with a maintenance kit.
Really?
You know,
I
to
guess that
make
makes
sure
sense.
You maintained it, because you don't want it to dry out, because then it becomes useless.
It's like an old
Almost
rubber band,
almost
right?
like a human lover, if you think about it.
You have to maintain.
Yeah.
How much extra was it for the option to include the cigarette lighter powered air pump, the emergency air pump that you can
I don't-
12-volt
I don't know if that was an add-on. I think the higher end pieces had it included. It was, nowadays it's probably all Bluetooth and whatnot. Yeah, it's been a while since Andy and I worked on that catalog. but-
Yeah.
yeah. But no, each one came with like a little maintenance kit to keep it in good shape.
So
I had one of those at my desk when we worked at Playboy.
Like
'cause-
most of us did.
Yeah, they just showed
It's a
up as
running gag.
Yes, the people just pass them around like, "Uh-oh, it's on your desk today." But I remember I put a Kiss shirt on mine and put it at my desk, and then
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's not me. It's a decoy."
You could do this
Yeah.
at that job.
Yeah, no one cared. It was just fun. Yeah, now you're making me feel bad.
Yeah, and there was a couple times I'd show up in the morning and you'd come around the end of your cube and just like a stick-on dong was attached to the front of my monitor.
Right.
And it was so thick and robust, it was literally like slowly bouncing up and down just on its own momentum.
The Earth's gravitational pull
you
made it
show
bounce
up,
and
you
down.
set your bag down, you pull the dong off your computer monitor, and you start your day.
Yeah.
And that was that job.
I remember we had a hotline or whatever to get the IT guys to come if there's something wrong. And I called, and the guy showed up wearing a strap-on Steely Dan coming to fix my computer. I'm like, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I have a picture of that somewhere. So I was like, hold on, step back. I have to take a picture.
Maybe
and he was wasted at the time, too.
maybe it,
This was like towards the end of that place where it was just mayhem. That people just drinking all day long and acting crazy.
I was gonna say maybe it was like his tool belt, like he can unscrew part of it, and there was some sort of tools in there.
Yeah, there was like a leather man, basically, like a multi-tool inside of it.
Yeah, an Allen wrench.
Forceps.
Yeah. Shout out to Ryan. I don't think he listens to the show, but
An ESD strap.
yeah.
Why is he the one that was?
Yeah, this guy Ryan was the IT guy,
Oh, okay.
and now he lives in San Diego and has a stake in a fast food chain and is doing quite well. So good for
him.
Ryan. Yeah. Board and Brews. If you're out there, go check him out. But let's get back to this song.
I just wanted to say, great guitar playing. However, that was in my book a drum solo.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, that was the instrument that was grabbing my attention more so even.
Yeah, I gotta say I keyed in on the guitar there just because I'm a big Steve Hunter fan, and I'm wondering if he played both parts of that solo or if he actually got one of the guys in the band involved. But Ezrin loved that guy, and for good reason. And he's a Detroit guy, and I think Or although maybe Dick Wagner.
Wagner
That was the-
is a
that was-
That was the
Michigan
thing that
guy.
was stuck on your computer monitor.
Yeah, Dick Wagner. Yeah, the Steely
the
Dan.
tamale
It's
wagon.
another name for a dong, the Dick Wagner. I'm not sure if Hunter was a Detroit guy too, but they were the guitar duo of Train Kept Rolling,
which still
Aerosmith, Lou Reed.
still surprises me. Like I had no idea until you said that a few years ago on here that was not Joe Perry on the studio
There was
version.
one that they got brought in on as ringers, but you just don't hear this kind of like busy drumming that doesn't lose the beat and drives the song anymore. There's no nuance to drumming anymore in the rock realm that I'm aware of.
No, I don't. Well, I mean, we heard that Rebel Sons song a while.
Rival Sons, yeah.
I'm sorry, Rival Sons. Playing probably as we speak or finishing
Is that
up
today
in
or
Chicago.
tomorrow?
That's
Today?
tonight. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Damn.
They
blew it.
SDP is probably on stage right now.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the Aragon.
No,
Plus, I need a seat at shows these days. I'm sorry.
Maybe you can get one of those pairs of pants that have legs and a chair on the back of it.
They do have such a thing?
I've seen it before. It's like a gag.
Oh.
You sit down and it extends out. Some old man pants with a built-in seat.
No, I always say
Happy
Rival
time.
Sons for some
I'm
reason.
with you, though.
But Rival Sons, we heard that, I don't know, a couple months ago, and that's a band that I remember commenting, like, the drums sound like you're in the
that's a
room
good
with
point.
drums. But, there's not much, almost everything they're striving for, some sort of perfection that's not what you hear when a band is playing in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
But this sounds like it. It's got some weird stuff going on that you can really only pull off in the studio. But as far as the drums, it sounds fantastic. This is just a guy going nuts on the drums.
Yeah, no, it's
Plain and simple.
incredible. Really, really good stuff.
That was kind of stupid.
You didn't care for that?
No, it was just corny. His goofy voice that he did.
Yeah, you can do it, I guess, in this kind of song.
Yeah.
Was that Donovan?
That
or
was
Vince
Donovan.
there? Well,
I think it's Donovan.
See, that's Donovan wears out his welcome with people quickly.
Time to go, Donovan.
You got to check out Don't Look Back sometime, because it's like the scene is like, it's the mid 60s in England, and it's like this scene where like there's a bunch of groupies sitting around, and they're like, sitting on the floor with an acoustic, and like it's almost like the scene in Animal House where that dickhead is sitting on the stairs with an acoustic, like crooning to the women, and then Belushi comes in and smashes his guitar and stuff. Dylan does almost the equivalent, but I think he actually takes the guitar from Donovan.
Wow.
And plays one of his songs that's clearly superior and just levels him in front of a room full of people. It's classic.
And it's intentional.
Oh yeah, Dylan. He there's a scene where he's dressing down like a concert promoter or something. That's like, doesn't belies his whole like folky hippie image. He's just no nonsense guy, and just doesn't suffer fools at all, or posers like Donovan. So what an interesting choice to bring him in to this environment.
Yeah.
I never even knew that he was on here.
No. You know what this reminds me of? I'm realizing it. I wonder if Chris has ever seen this. You ever see Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas?
I've heard of it. I'm going to pull a Mama Jones and be like, I don't remember ever seeing or hearing it, but I very well could have.
So it's a Muppet Christmas special with not the regular Muppets, but it's a Jim Henson production.
Yeah.
And basically it's about a battle of the bands with a jug band, but like the Ringer band is called the River Bottom Nightmare Band, and that's got to be like, let's do an Alice Cooper song. Do you remember that, Nick, or no?
I remember the scene, but I don't remember
It's like-
the song.
It's like the guy who's doing the voice. It's Jerry Nelson. He's doing like exactly like an Alice Cooper thing, and it sounds similar to this. So
That would make sense.
I remember it being weird and psychedelic.
yeah, and it's like but it had to be a direct influence to like, hey, let's do that for the band. That these are just like these nice little animals who are doing this folk jug band music, and then the band they're going up against are these scary like glam guys doing that music.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That's interesting too. That Alice,
Written by Paul Williams too. All the songs.
your friend Paul Williams.
I saw him
You did see Paul Williams. All right, here we go. Now we're getting.
Where did you see him? Was he
in Las Vegas.
in Las Vegas? Like when? Recently or
No.
back in the day?
70, maybe 8.
Damn.
Yeah.
Old Vegas, like the
Yeah.
Stardust or something
Yeah,
like
the
that.
old.
And the old
We only
strip?
went there
Was it
once.
Caesar's Palace or no?
We stayed at Caesar's Palace,
But
but,
it might
I
have
don't
gone to a
remember
show somewhere
where.
else.
And
I don't remember.
and who did you see walking in to the casino?
Telly Savalas.
Telly Savalas.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Did you do it? Did you approach him at all, or was
No.
he surrounded?
I
by
did a
people?
Tom Codel. Right?
Oh, just
With
played it cool.
Phil
and
Campbell.
Didn't want to
Or
bother
Phil
him.
Campbell.
Was he? Did he have like an entourage around?
I don't
him, or
remember.
You don't remember?
No.
Just that majestic bald head
Right.
moving through the casino.
Right.
And that would have been
That's something else.
and that would have been the same trip, right? 78, you said?
I've only been there once.
Just the
right?
one.
Yeah.
So that would have been, Kojak was still going
I would
strong
think
in,
so,
in
yeah.
78. So
He was pretty much on top.
and I
at
think
that
he had some albums out by that point. He was doing variety shows where he was
he
not
was,
really singing, but musical performance.
Yeah, he was an all around entertainer.
I didn't know that.
He's a cool guy.
Did he look cool? Did he have like a good outfit? Like I imagine
Oh,
a lot of
come on.
jewelry.
Of course, yeah.
And
Dickie.
I'm
Wild,
I'm
loud
imagining
suit.
like a shirt with the big collars,
For
like
sure.
unbuttoned down. Probably
Let's
his
just say
mid-
he did. Probably he did.
Yeah.
I don't remember. For sure.
jewelry, chains, all that stuff.
Pinky rings on every
Pinky
finger.
ring.
Peak of the disco era. Yeah, he was on top at that point. That's amazing. That must have been cool. See that guy strolling through.
Yeah,
Everybody just gets out of his way.
Yeah.
I would
He's
assume
moving through.
so.
That's pretty awesome.
That's one of those things that a normal guy can't even imagine walking into a place and having and getting that kind of reaction.
no,
Yeah.
Can't imagine it.
no, no words
And knowing-
need be spoken. Just simply get out of my way.
And as soon as the
Coming
door,
through.
he didn't open the door. I'm sure as soon as it was opened for him.
Yeah.
Before that, he knew. Okay, this is.
He had
This
to
is
have-
how it's going to go.
I know she doesn't remember, but he had to have an entourage of some
Probably.
sort around him. At
For
least
sure.
6 people. Yeah. What can you? Does it get any better than being Telly Savalas in the late 70s?
In Vegas.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that guy got into? Oh. I could expound on that, but we have your mom in the room.
Yeah.
But
Use
Don't
your
hold back,
imagination.
Chris.
put it this way: he didn't need no sex doll on that trip. Okay,
No.
he
He
didn't need one ever. I don't think.
He's an odd. Was he a big guy? He seemed like he was kind of a tall dude.
I don't
You
know
know
if he
what?
was.
The thing about like TV stars and movie stars, the vast majority of them are tiny.
Yeah.
And
They're tiny with big heads. It's a
And-
weird combination.
yeah, and this is back in the 40 years ago now. So whatever the chemicals and the food supply, whatever it is, I honestly believe we have all recently lived through an evolutionary uptick in the size of people. And so he just carried himself that way, had that aura about him. But I mean, are you looking up his particulars?
Yeah.
His brother was, I don't know if he was tall, but he was a big guy.
Yeah.
His brother was
God.
on the show.
So I don't know why
On
this is.
Kojak?
Yeah.
I don't know why this is so specific, but Telly Savalas' height 5'10" and 3/4 inches.
That's pretty tall, though. Taller than I would have thought.
It's a good height, 5'10".
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real nice.
It's almost.
That's a perfect man's height.
It's
as far as I'm
It's
concerned.
almost there, really. It's not quite there.
I disagree. I think it's the height of the perfect man.
All right, I stand corrected a little bit.
So just on the same website, quickly, Yul Brynner 5'8". Would not have guessed that.
I
I
would
would have thought he was like 6'2".
I thought 7'6"
Yeah.
was
I
Yul
saw
Brynner.
him too.
What?
Did you?
Where?
I went to see at the show. I saw King and I.
In Vegas?
No.
Oh, in Chicago?
Yeah,
Or-
in Chicago.
Yeah.
What year was this?
You know that I don't.
And it was
remember.
still
But it
Yul
King and
Brynner,
I.
huh?
It was Yul Brynner.
You know who was? I'm pretty sure it was King and I. You know who played the King? I think for a little while, Darren McGavin,
Really?
the dad from the Christmas Story.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he played the King for a while. I think there's like an album, like a cast album.
It might be
with him in
here if we look for it. We have that.
That
somewhere.
would be interesting.
I don't know who's on it, but
You saw Yul Brynner live.
I didn't realize I'm seeing all these.
yeah, right.
Well, these are icons of entertainment.
Yul Brynner, yeah.
Yul Brynner? I mean,
Yeah.
Yul
Yul
Brynner
Brynner.
and Telly Savalas.
Yeah.
Yul Brynner, what a unique entertainer. I mean, what a completely individual, one of a kind entertainer, and like all of the roles he played just were perfect for him. You know, you never saw him doing a cameo on Mr. Belvedere or anything like that. You know, it's like all of his roles were like fucking awesome, and I'm going to stop short of saying that he never appeared on Love Boat because
Everybody
I'm thinking
did.
that he probably did.
Either
but
Love American Style or Love
Yeah.
Boat. And pretty much everybody was on.
but what an you don't. Are there entertainers like him anymore? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No,
What a
and
unique guy.
there aren't. I forget where I heard this from, but there was. I was listening to another podcast a while back, and they were talking.
You
about,
too? You and Alex.
It wasn't this one. Yeah,
ridiculous.
Alex actually he sent it to me. Check this out. They were talking about how basically it's been a while since you could be someone who does impressions and have a wealth of subject, material to work off of.
Because there aren't enough unique individuals.
There aren't that many characters anymore. Everybody's kind of similar as far as actors and
The closest thing you got now is that Frank Caliendo guy. And
Is he still kicking? I mean, I know he's alive,
Yeah, but
is he
who
still...
does he have? Who's like who can you draw from? That's an entertainer.
He draws a
these
lot
days.
from sports figures, but he
Yeah.
also does like a Morgan Freeman and stuff like that.
I'll give you
But
that
I
one.
don't
Yeah.
know. It's not the same.
No.
I sound like the old guy, but it's not the same. It's not the same quality.
Well, we're talking about the two great bald men in all of history.
in all of history, not just in Hollywood.
Who's better?
Yeah, it's hard. I'm hard pressed to come up with a third. So, all right, one more celebrity hype before we press play again. Charles Bronson, 5'8.5".
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's all he needed.
Nick, that's one of your favorites.
That was
Anybody with testicles should have him.
All your favorites.
Should have him among their favorites. Yeah, Bronson, Seagal, all this stuff. If you're a male and nothing about any of that stuff hits you on a visceral level, I simply can't relate to you as a human being.
Van Damme,
I don't
Schwarzenegger, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Stallone.
Yeah, and with the final installment of the Rambo franchise just coming out. I mean,
is he still in the action, or is there like a young Rambo that he's training?
a protege.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Guess we'll find out. All right, let's
Rambo Youngblood, it'd be called.
Rambo,
perhaps.
Yeah. Like First Blood, I just got it. Sorry, I was a little slow.
Yeah, what can you do?
That's all right.
Wasn't that
It's
good.
late.
Dancing nightly in the attic while the moon is rising in the sky. If I'm too rough, tell me I'm so scared. You're to let me go off in my hands. Darling baby, darling baby.
We haven't talked about all that bass work
Yeah,
going on. It's got that kind of clanky, trebly sound, but it's very forward in the mix. Another interesting choice.
Yeah, huge.
Doing like those histrionic up and down the neck
Yeah.
moves. An integral part of the song as well.
It's
Take that out, you lose some impact.
It's such a weird song, and it's interesting that it's a song that he still has in the set. Like
I don't see it. I see it as less interesting, more of a no-brainer. I mean, this has to be in the set, you know.
it's just such a weird song, though. There's so much going on; it's hard to wrap your head around it. When
I think
you're
the
listening to
studio
it.
version, but you
Yeah, well,
strip
that's
it
true.
down and give it a little more punch and a live. I mean, this is one of the main riff of this song is fucking
Yeah,
outstanding.
but I mean, I'm looking at the track listing. Of the 4 songs on side A, the other 3 I would put above it.
Really?
Just as far as stuff that I prefer to listen to.
Wow.
Hello, Hooray, Raped and Freezing, and Elected.
You put them all above the title track.
As far as what I would listen to, yeah. Like if given the choice, it's such a. Not saying I'm not putting this one down. But those 4 songs on one side of an album, that's a.
I'm not going to argue
That's
with you
a
on that, but
formidable combination.
Yeah,
right
well,
there.
you're absolutely right, but to put this one at the bottom of that list is
How dare him? How dare him?
It's a interest. You want to talk about interesting? That's an interesting opinion, and the reason why I say that is we're almost to the end, so I can say this in advance of the voting, but this is in my top 3 Alice Cooper songs, like way up there.
Yeah.
I mean, the main riff of the song is just crushing.
Oh yeah,
it's fucking great.
No doubt about it. But it's definitely the weirdest, even with the strange, well, not strange, but the juxtaposition of the whole Mexican music acoustic thing going on in Raped and Freezing.
Yeah,
just like with some of the other weirdness going on. This song's just so out there.
Oh yeah, no question about that.
And I have to offer a correction. I'm sure people have been yelling
We
at
don't generally do that.
No.
We just accept the fact that we're wrong about most things.
It's a little bit dim in here, and I misread. Unfinished Suite is actually the next song, and that's on side A.
Okay.
So that closes
All
out
right.
side A. So I apologize for misreading
You're such
that.
a loser.
Which, that...
Yeah, I was just about to
Wasn't
say,
me.
what
That's someone
a
else.
great way to close out a side and have the needle lift off the album with that kind of weird ending there. Which, again, is without that bass playing on that, the whole ending loses the impact.
Yeah, Yeah, but I mean,
Vital ingredient there.
more weirdness in the next track in
Yeah.
Unfinished Suite, which for those who are not familiar is about going to the dentist.
Is it?
Yeah,
Why not?
Yeah, I've got what is it called? The concert movie that came out. Nice to See You Again, or So Good to See You Again. Alice Cooper. I forget. Nice to See You Again. I think it's called.
What era is that from?
This era?
Oh, okay.
Like this tour.
Okay.
And
Current tour, really?
yeah,
Recently?
No,
like this album.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And it's got a sequence during they play Unfinished Suite, and there's this big it's like a weird James Bond kind of a section, and there's a footage of him running down the street with a giant toothbrush. it's just like weird,
Yeah.
but great song. I mean, adding that one to the to that side also, it doesn't hurt it.
No.
Just a fantastic side A of music.
Absolutely. Great tune. Your thoughts, Mama Jones?
Well, after listening to the three of you, then I guess it's a good song.
Well, what do you think? Do you like it? Or?
Yeah, I think if
Or
I
not
listen
really?
to it more, it might catch on to, sometimes I have
But
to hear something several times.
I feel like we're probably being kind of nerds about it in a way.
well, that's what we do.
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
show.
But it's a hard song to wrap your head around. Would you
Yes.
agree? Yeah,
Yes.
I would agree also that like the studio version, there's the two voices going on. The arrangement musically is kind of hard to put your finger on at times.
Well, and another thing is this is definitely takes on a new dimension when you're listening in headphones. At least it did for me. And I think a lot of the production back in the day was done with that intent. People were getting more into headphones back in the day and getting that stereo panning and all the weird production techniques. And it definitely is one that you listen to it on quality equipment, it's gonna bring out some of the nuance in it. At least it did for me. I'd never heard it quite that way. So
It's a complicated recording, that's for sure.
that's what you get from Brother Bob Ezrin. Known for that.
Well, it's time to vote. Sweet Surrender or Kick in the Crotch. Who wants to vote first today? I'll do it. How about me?
Go ahead, Andy.
I'll give it a Sweet Surrender.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
Sweet Surrender, but not with the emphatic slam dunk that I feel like Chris was leaning towards. And maybe part of my reason is that it's kind of chaotic, the studio recording. Maybe a little bit of cacophony, if you will, at times. I don't know if that's accurate, but there's a lot going on at the same time.
I was thinking about being that for Halloween this year, actually.
Yeah.
A cacophony.
To get my dictionary.
Yeah.
I'm going to emerge from a cacophony on the porch when the kids come walking
I
up.
thought that's what you put on your table at Thanksgiving.
That's bacon in the morning.
Oh, okay. Throw your slab on the table.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the same reasons I like it are the same reasons that I don't think it's an absolute slam dunk, which is kind of weird. Like, I like that it sounds like a band. This is something we've talked about several times. You hear the individual performances by people doing things that are unique to who they are as musicians, which is kind of, I don't know, refreshing. I hate to sound like the old fart who keeps saying you don't get that anymore, but you don't get it as often as you did, where it sounds like a band in a room, and like these are the kinds of things these guys like to play, like the bass playing, for example, with those like all that's to me something that I feel like with a lot of more modern music would be wiped out in Pro Tools. Like, let's just stick to the let's just keep the beat on the, what is that called, where it's like
The
on
metronome?
Yeah, but there's on the grid. Let's keep it on the grid and lock it in so we can get some dance play or whatever.
Right.
Like all the other things that people think about.
Yeah.
You know, like we've talked about compression and volume wars and all that stuff that kind of came later. This just sounds like you can hear. If you want to focus on each instrument, you can. Like, I'm going to listen and just pay attention to the drums. You can hear everything that's going on, and it sounds like a real live drummer playing the drums. It's cool. But at the same time, everyone's doing something at the same time. So for that, I'm still giving it a Sweet Surrender, but, you know, again, a lot going on.
I'll give it a Sweet Surrender as well.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
An unfinished Sweet Surrender, if you will. Which
Is it sweet like SWEET?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I was thinking.
Well, yeah, I think that's
like
that's what they wanted you to think.
SUITE.
Yeah.
You thought it was that all this time?
I never even heard of it until today. I don't know
What?
this. Unfinished Sweet?
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you meant Sweet Surrender.
No. I don't know.
Although
Billy,
it could-
I just know. This,
Although it could happen in a suite, for all we know.
well, I guess a dentist's office could be a suite, right?
That's true.
Suite or an attic where you can get some privacy.
Behind the shed.
Yep.
Do you have any dentist equipment in there?
One of those hooks, just in case something gets really stuck in there.
You can pry the mouth open.
So I'm kind of with Andy on this, where I think it's a great song. It's the most out there song. I don't know about on the whole album, but maybe it is. It's. I do love that riff, and in a live setting, I will agree with Chris. It definitely comes across very well, and but I have to say, like of even putting Unfinished Sweet in there, of those 5 songs on that side of the album, I think it's because this one is less accessible sounding. It's less pleasing because it's just so weird. It's got so many weird things going on. But yeah, for me, the highlight is the drums, especially like during the guitar solo. It's a guitar solo, right? So the drums just kind of do their thing and hang back usually, but that it upstaged the guitar playing, in my opinion. So I really loved that aspect of it, and not saying that I dislike the song at all, but man, is it weird?
It is weird.
I mean, I knew it was weird coming into it, but then, like Chris said, we were listening to it in the headphones, and you're getting all this stuff that you may not have experienced before, just hearing it in a different setting. So that's I'll pass it over to Chris.
Which Chris?
To Chris L, perhaps.
Oh,
Sweet Surrender for me, for sure.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised at the lukewarm reception that I'm picking up on from you guys, because like I said, this is top 3 all-time Alice Cooper for me.
What are the other 2?
The other 2 would be My Lover. You familiar with that one?
That's off of... That's not...
I don't
Is that
even know.
before this album?
I couldn't even tell you. I know it was on the Greatest Hits
Okay.
album, so that's where I first became familiar with it. And then Clones is in my top 3. Close fourth is Poison. Love that song. Especially when he's on stage, he gets the walking stick and just points at random women in the crowd. It's like, she's poison. And but this is top 3 for me. Could be at any of the slots on a given day. Just the main riff is just the epitome of kick-ass 70s rock with a twist of evil and macabre in there. And I gotta say, I gained a new appreciation for it listening on the headphones like this. I like weird stuff, and this fits the bill for me.
You know, talking about like top Alice Cooper songs. One of mine, which I'm surprised it's not. It wasn't a hit. Maybe if they'd come out with it a couple albums later. We Still Got a Long Way to Go. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. I think it's from Love It to Death. Really fantastic. Like more of like just a straight ahead, kind of classic rock song. Really great song. Just wanted to throw that one out there. And then our buddy Phil, who we see walking around in front of Andy's house from time to time.
We can smell him before we see him.
One of his
several blocks away.
He's a big fan of the original Alice Cooper group. Used to talk about the song "Shoe Salesman" all the time.
All right,
pretty cool song. Weird, but not this type of weird. More of subject matter.
You guys really think this is super weird? I mean, I get with the two vocals going on, but I mean, it's a caveman riff. I mean, it's just straight ahead rock from that standpoint.
It's just the whole kitchen sink production kind of thing.
That's valid.
And we need one more vote.
I'll give it a Sweet Surrender also.
Ooh.
It's Sweet Surrender. Hell yes.
Hell yes, Mom.
What made you give it the Sweet Surrender?
Just listening to the three of you.
Well, what about the anything from the song stand out as something that you found particularly enjoyable?
What's that part called where it repeats?
The chorus?
Yeah.
Just the whole $1 Billion Babies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the riff.
You think I would know that by now after listening to you guys all these years?
Yeah. We usually say the wrong
stuff. I know the
stuff,
word riff and all these other.
We usually say things wrong. So
yeah, if you're coming to this show for musical knowledge, you're going to come away empty more often than
or
not.
Misguided at best.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well.
So not quite on like a Color My World level for you.
No, not quite.
Okay.
Not you're the inspiration or anything like that.
Well, don't fold in the pussified 80s version of Chicago with what we're talking about.
It's no Having My Baby, right?
No.
Well, nothing is. I mean, that's
did like
next
that
level.
song. I'm kind of embarrassed to say.
A lot of people like that song. And they, just didn't... well, it was the 70s. People weren't as offended and looking to be as offended as most people are today. People just enjoyed it for what it was. That's next level stuff. But
and that's kind of when Jay was coming along.
First baby, yeah.
Well, it was perfect. And it was Paul Anka, a friend of ours, right?
Right.
Well, sort of. No.
Well, this is his favorite hangout.
That's
place.
true.
That's true.
So,
it's just like when he comes walking in here, it's just like when Telly Savalas went walking into
I'm
the
waiting
casino.
for somebody like that to come into here.
Just Paul Anka just walking.
You didn't get it tonight.
Not tonight.
So maybe when Tom was here a couple weeks ago.
Closest to get.
In fact, I was so intimidated by him, I walked out. So, yeah.
That is
we did have the audio rolling for your walkout. We should play that at some point.
Yeah, we'll regale people with that.
Yeah, maybe at the end of the show. We'll see if we want to play that clip. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it'll be the soundtrack for Trump's impeachment when it finally comes to pass.
Yeah, that's what's going on today, huh? Yeah. Is that happening or not?
Well, it's a lengthy process, but it's underway.
Why don't you bring that up on social media, and then our listeners can continue berating each other?
Somebody will be told to go to bed. Love that comeback. Yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I missed that one.
It closed. You see it a lot with people. They just... Usually it's the liberal lobbing at a conservative. Say it will end the zinger with go to bed, go back to bed.
Is that like you're an old man or something?
Something like that.
Okay.
Just, dismissive.
That's on par with the
snuffing out of
try to keep up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just go down the list. It's a multifaceted.
It's all about condescension.
Exactly.
That's currency.
And that's what the political discourse of the day is. Nobody's Nobody's open-minded. Nobody's changing their attitude.
You guys deserved way better than this jerk-off did tonight. I'm sorry.
Well, all right. So I kind of think I know where this next round's going to go, but we're moving on to the next round, yes?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right, Hammond! I got a question for you.
Paul Stanley wants to know if $1 Billion Babies is a rock and roll boner classic. Sorry, Mom. I said the B word.
Did you ever see a show at the Parthenon? A live band?
Just Dave Clark 5.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That was the only one.
Mm-hmm.
So you saw Dave Clark 5 where this very drum solo that we're listening to right now happened.
Oh, this is where it's from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
74.
Quite a venue. Now, when you saw Dave Clark 5, was it that full-on British invasion type show where the shrieking women?
Oh, yes. We were standing up on the chairs. I think even on the armrests.
Wow, jeez.
Yeah.
And just women going ballistic.
We were screaming. Yeah. Well, I
Did
don't
you even
remember-
hear the band?
I don't remember, but I don't remember if I was screaming because I was 12 or whatever, so I don't know if I could have even let out a scream without being intimidated.
Those teenagers around.
But that was back in the day. They didn't have these full-on PAs, and everybody. A lot of people who were at Beatles shows were like, I couldn't even hear the band, especially like Shea Stadium. The PA was the fucking system they used to say who's coming up to bat next.
Yeah.
And 60,000 people or however many people were there, you couldn't hear the fucking band. Couldn't hear any of it.
That must have been easy times for those bands, though. The girls screaming and nobody can hear you.
You could just mess up.
You can you can cut a song off early. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you get on and off in 20 minutes.
No pressure.
And then if you have one little like is it the Shadows used to have the one little move that they would as they were playing the one little choreograph move.
Yeah.
I think it was
That's
the
all you
Shadows.
need, some choreographed
and then
moves.
you throw that in there once in a while, and the crowd goes even crazier.
Yeah, and there was no internet where every asshole on the planet could pick apart your performance the next day. Oh, they cut off a song halfway through. Nobody knew.
You know, I actually have started feeling bad for Vince Neil for that because you see it constantly.
Oh, it's destroyed.
Every time he does a concert, not every time, but you see it very frequently where it's like, listen to this guy. He can't sing his songs anymore. Well, he's blowing it.
He hasn't been able to for
like
20 years.
Yeah, I bet if you're there, you're having a good time.
Of course.
I just think it sucks that that's the whatever.
That's the
world we live in, where it's more fun to post someone not being as good at something as they used to be, and then mocking them for it.
When I saw Motley Crue headline after I saw Alice Cooper, it was more like there were moments where you kind of smile because he's hitting the notes, but he's not saying words a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I don't know. Yeah, when you're there, you're not like, oh man, well he's terrible. I'm better than this guy.
No,
that comes in later at the keyboard. Apparently,
I should be clear. We have made fun of him many times, but
Sure.
I'm just saying we've never gone out of our way to take a video and then post it and then write an article about how shitty he is. We've just kind of teased him for
Well, and he's look, he can't, he doesn't have the wind to deliver it anymore. Points the mic at the crowd to fill in the blanks. You can pick it apart and make fun of it when you're watching on a video, but when you're there and the whole spectacle is going on, you don't give a fuck.
No, you're having fun. Yeah, stupid.
You're there for. I mean, if you're showing up to the concert and you still have that cynical attitude, it's like you should have just taken that, however much money you spent on the ticket, and lit it on fire. You'd have gotten a much more satisfying reaction from that.
Mm-hmm.
You could strut around saying, you know what, I took $200 in cash yesterday and I fucking lit it on fire. That's what a baller I am. Instead, you spent it and went and fucking had a shitty time because Vince Neil can't sing anymore. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. All right. Well, we need to find out if $1 Billion Babies is a rock and roll boner classic, as voted by the 3 boners in this room and mom.
I'll do the word and.
Oh, good. Okay. I got an idea.
Okay.
What if we go Chris, Mom, Andy, Nick?
Okay.
So that'll give her a chance to say and before the whole thing gets torpedoed. So votes are in.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
assuming
Yes.
she wants to say and, she
doesn't
might
have-
rifle it down. I don't know.
I might.
But I'm gonna start with rock.
And.
Roll.
Boner.
What?
It's
It's a rockin'
and that's an homage to Vince Neil, by the way. to have a signature, something where you're like we talked about before. If you're trying to do an impression in a way of somebody, and is there a signature sort of delivery that they might have, or something?
Nick did it.
A twist they might do.
Rock and roll bone.
It was very clear to me that that's what he would have probably said.
Absolutely.
And as far as the song, for me personally, though I made a point of saying the other 4 songs on this side of the album I prefer to this one, it's still not a knock at this song. So I have no issue with this one
surprised.
being
I thought you were
escalated.
gonna not elevate it, but that's good.
Actually, Andy surprised me.
I think it was just some JBBS.
I didn't think it was going to get to
For
me.
a while.
Well, once a third Jones enters the room, we can't help ourselves. We start conspiring.
But absolutely
without discussing it. Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
a classic. It is
that's
absolutely
what.
a classic.
Wow.
That's like the main thing that made me.
Title track from one of their all-time best albums.
One of the
I mean,
all-time
it's
great rock albums.
Absolutely, no question about it.
Good stuff. So I don't know if anyone disagrees. If you do, you're crazy. But in case you do,
That's just the fucking way it is.
there it is. And how about this for old time's sake?
Hi guys, this is Paul Anka,
There you
and
go.
you're listening to one of my favorite hangout places, Pot of Thunder. Stay tuned and don't miss it daily. They got it down and they do it my way. Anka, checking out.
Can't believe he dropped the My Way reference.
You know the best thing?
how
He's never
great-
done that for any other
how
radio
great-
show.
How great
Just
does that make me feel?
He hasn't. No.
never. It's just for us.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like routine or robotic or anything.
No.
I feel like it's all
it
coming
doesn't.
from the heart.
Not phoned in. Well, literally phoned in, but not phoned in. If you get my,
He's a big fan. It's his favorite hangout spot. He's never been here.
Actually, you
but
know, I
it's
just realized he said one of his favorite hangout places. That's a little disappointing.
Maybe we edit that out.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like his house and here.
Yeah.
And Cavaccini's place, wherever they hang out together.
Haven't heard from him in a while. Is he still on board?
Yeah, he's making moves. You know, hanging out with Dionne Warwick.
I can't blame him for not
doing his
being
thing
around
with
as
her.
much.
I won't use the clinical term in the presence of your mom. but doing his duty with Dionne Warwick, put it that way.
All right. Well, hey guys, guess what time it is?
I had something, but I'm not going to say it.
Time for Nick's.
I was that close. That close.
Baseball fever, hit it.
I still am that close.
This is impressive restraint because
this point,
usually,
you might
usually
as
when
well.
you're in the presence of family, you just let loose with the
That's true.
off-color, inappropriate
It's
commentary.
usually my wife's family, not my
Nick
own.
ramps it up more when he's in the presence of family.
It's
Yeah.
typically in-laws, though.
Oh, we got the holidays are coming up,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you got to get in that zone of like
ease into it.
being the dropping that comment that stops everybody in their tracks.
You gotta be the family pig.
Yeah. Well, I still have it in my pocket. Just
Okay.
I'm not going to.
It's not coming out?
No.
Okay. All right. So,
It's making me laugh though. Thinking about it.
See, now we want to.
Everyone wants to hear it now.
No,
but now
can't.
it's like it's too much pressure. Or if you just say it might not.
The moment has
Yeah, the
passed.
moment has
the
passed.
timing is everything.
Yeah.
Comedy. You can tell us after we cut it off.
All right, so I was scrolling through many Yardzo questions trying to find one
That your mom could get involved
that's
in?
appropriate
Okay.
for a mother or not. So
You actually found some? that
this is
will
as
work?
close as it gets.
All right. Well, that's good enough.
Yeah. I think this is pretty harmless stuff here, so this is good. Some of the other ones, though, were
Well, yeah. I mean,
beyond the pale.
there's
Some of
only-
the ones I scrolled through.
Yeah, we can't. There's certain things we can't subject your mom to. Those turning one of these creeps loose on her with the questions
Yeah.
is just not going to happen.
Yeah. So this one comes to us
Draw
from
the line at some point.
This one comes to us from Rob Paskey.
Oh, this guy, yeah.
This guy is
So Rob-
this guy is an absolute wild man.
He's
He
a
is.
loose cannon. He's a relatively new listener. I'd say somewhere within 2019.
He's fully on board.
And he's fully on board.
One of maybe the most hardcore. Well, except for my mom over here, maybe the most hardcore listener after my mom.
Yep. So here we go. This is from Rob. Question 1. What was the first movie that scared all of you shitless? Mine was Return of the Living Dead. What's a movie that scared you? First one that you remember.
It scared me.
You have one, Mama Jones?
See,
Just off the top of my head, I'm thinking maybe Jaws.
Oh, okay.
That's my pick.
Because
Is it?
is it?
Yeah.
Because when we were at the theater and I remember jumping
Yeah.
during one of the
Same
scenes.
deal.
Yeah. So I'll
the
say Jaws.
the scene for me is when the head came out of the porthole when Richard Dreyfuss was poking around in the sunken
okay.
ship. That I'm telling you, that vibe in the theater for that movie was incredible.
Right.
Just amazing. I was 10 when I went. My parents took both me and my brother. It was a family outing, and boy, I gotta tell you, man, that movie was all the hype or anything you read about that movie, the whole impact it had on people, absolutely legit. You had to be there in the theater. Every theater was packed. The line was around the block to get in. And just the whole thing, the music on the big screen, amazing. So that was going to be my pick.
Now, did they, at the time it came out, I've heard that they did like the whole gimmicky, like in a, like at a pool, they would play it or something, like so you're in the water watching
really?
the movie. I don't know if that came later. After
that
it was a
I don't
hit.
remember.
I'd heard that they had staged that movie shown at in that kind of
They get the usher to bite you when you're.
Well, I mean,
expecting it.
they had stuff. Didn't they rig stuff in like the 50s in some of the movie theaters where they would have buzzers in the seats? Like they'd have an old Vincent Price movie, and
Really?
yeah, during certain parts it would just to scare people even more.
Well, the
seats would
one thing
vibrate.
I remember they had that. The other thing about the 70s is there this trend of disaster films, and they had that for Earthquake.
They had the seats buzzing.
They
Wow.
called it Sense Around, I believe.
Okay.
I don't remember that for Jaws. They didn't need those gimmicks for Jaws. That movie just killed you just on its own.
Right.
So that was my pick. Good pick, Mrs. Jones.
Thank you. Good pick, Chris.
Yeah, well.
And Chris is on the same page.
Yep.
Nick?
I avoided scary movies, and I still pretty much do, unless it's like an old black and white one or something. But there is, I never even saw this whole movie, but I was watching it on TV one time, and it was Seven.
Oh, yeah.
And there's the scene, I think the deadly sin that it was related to was sloth, where there's just a guy wasting away in a bed, and they thought he was dead, and then they were getting close to him, and all of a sudden he coughs, and that part just that moment was like an Yeah. Freaky stuff.
Yeah, saw that one in the theater too. Certain movies you get the big screen, that big sound system, and it definitely adds to it.
Yeah, I mean this was on the TV, and it was like that part really found that quite disturbing. So I'll go with that.
How about you, Andy?
I've never been scared in my life.
No?
Of anything. No, I don't know.
Your wedding video might have done it. I don't know.
No.
Jay's wedding video.
Well, you know,
Andy typically doesn't answer the questions. So
Yeah.
he gets a pass. But if he,
I don't
you can
even.
answer.
I have no answer. I used to like scary movies when I was really little. Like, our dad would have watched them, and I would watch them with him, which was like wildly inappropriate for the time.
For the time,
for the age, I mean, for the
not-
time it was fine, but for my
yeah.
age, if you look at it from today's standards, it was.
Well, now, you know what though? Like people take their little kids to horror movies at the
They do.
theater now.
Do they?
There's
Bad.
that whole thing hasn't really hasn't tightened up.
Okay.
I don't think the standards.
Well, I used to not have, like, I wasn't scared of them, and I just don't like them.
Yeah, my wife is into them, and my niece, and they watch scary movies together. It's just not something that I gravitate to.
Me neither.
Me neither.
No,
I don't.
care for them. Question 2. Who is your favorite wrestler of all time, and can you do their impression? I have a feeling part 2 of that question is not going to happen, but I love Macho Man, and yes, I can do the hashtag, oh yeah, just in case anyone was searching my emails for hashtags.
I have no doubt that Paskey can do a very good Macho
So
Man.
I think Paskey needs to cut a Macho Man promo about Pot of Thunder and send it in.
Yeah, that has to happen. Yeah.
But okay, favorite wrestler, and
I don't want to wake up the kids with my impression.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I don't want to wake up anybody here. I can maybe try to do a subdued one.
Yeah, you can do it.
Who's your favorite?
Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, handsome Jimmy Valiant.
And he's originally.
What was his catchphrase?
He had several, but I mean, he was quoting his song "Son of a Gypsy." some of his interludes in there are. We gonna do it forever, mama. Get down, baby.
Wow, almost diminutive Andrew.
Very much so.
Were you diminutive Andrew came first.
He came first, yeah.
And then after the music video was played, Jerry the King Lawler says he conceded during an interview. He said, "I have to say, handsome. That was
handsome.
That's what they called him, handsome. Handsome. That was really good." And then without missing a beat, he like, "Oh, you just saying that because it's the gospel, baby."
You can't argue with that.
Yeah, I mean, he's my favorite wrestler.
And Jimmy Valiant was also from Hammond. So
yeah, and I'll have to say,
is that true?
Yeah,
the Valiant brothers.
Okay.
I have to say his as far as in-ring moves and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. There are people who I would prefer, but just as the
he's
persona,
a character,
persona, all that. Yeah, as far as any wrestler who sang a song, "Son of a Gypsy" is head and shoulders above everything else.
I'm gonna have to watch it again.
I believe it was written by Jimmy Hart.
It makes perfect sense.
Could be wrong, but I think so.
Makes perfect sense.
So yeah, that was.
And Memphis, right? So
came rolling into Mempho.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. So it all ties
to Mempho.
Kind of like Hamo.
Yeah. See?
All ties together.
From Hamo to Mempho.
Yeah.
All right. So, Chris, how about you?
Well, you guys know the answer. The Bushwhackers.
Yep.
Then you just do the...
Yeah.
Licking people's heads.
And then lick
Absolutely.
each other's heads. What was with the head licking?
I don't know.
But I like
it. But the kids loved it.
Yeah,
and there you go. Probably something that you wouldn't do these days.
Yeah.
You don't see wrestlers licking kids'
licking
heads.
children's heads.
No.
When that guy just brushed Sasha Banks' ass and he's going to get sued.
Right.
Yeah. So random head licking probably wouldn't go over too well.
Yeah.
No, Bushwhackers all the way. The first time I saw them with their charging around the the ring in their overalls. I'm like, these guys are awesome.
Perfectly
Love them.
choreographed.
Absolutely. Nobody's eclipsed them ever for me. Not even close. There's not even a close third, actually. It's 1 and 2 guys. There's nobody else even on the radar. They're head light years above everybody else for me.
Mom, do you have? Well, I know who you're. I don't know if he's your favorite wrestler.
I have,
but I know of a wrestler that you're fond of. I don't know if this is who you're gonna say or not. Do you have a favorite wrestler that you can do an impression of also?
Yes, I'm going to pick Chris Jericho.
Oh my God.
Ooh, ah, ooh, ah.
Okay. There you go.
Just because a person with whom you share initials.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's that special bond.
But he seems like a pretty cool guy.
He is a very good
Great
guy. I thought you were going to go with an old favorite, but you don't. That's not your favorite.
I'll say another one.
Okay. Not to
George the Animal.
That's what I thought you were going to say, just from.
Because I actually have a George the Animal little figurine in my cabinet in the kitchen. I don't know why.
To this day.
And that's been since probably what year did you put him in there first? Was it the 80s probably?
Maybe so.
And it's a different house.
Yeah, and George is still in.
He travels
still in there
from
with
cabinet
the
to
dishes.
cabinet.
I don't know why, and I don't know what he would say. So that I
He
can-
just would.
I know he had the green tongue.
He had a green tongue, and he would eat the turnbuckle.
I thought you meant what would he say about you keeping a figure?
No.
Oh no, like
what his
What was his
impression?
catchphrase was?
Yeah, his catchphrase. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he just acted like an animal.
There you go.
I know.
That's all you need.
I know Andy doesn't answer the questions, and this may not be his favorite wrestler, but if he can just do a little Dusty Rhodes for us real quick.
I can't do it right now.
Come on,
This is like
Andy.
this is like when Nick was going to be put on the spot earlier.
Nothing tops his Dusty Rhodes impression at the Towler Theater in Hammond. One I witnessed.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Come on, Andy.
Droplets of pee in his pants.
I had a lot to drink.
Yeah. Staggering around, pants tucked into his boots.
Mhm.
Classic.
Blonde
Hilarious.
wig. I had
absolutely hilarious.
blue scars on my forehead.
That and the Rock Room show, neck and neck for things. I'm just happy as hell I was there.
And I'm pretty sure people walked out of both of those.
There's no question about it.
We walked the room, as people would say, from both of those, just from, I don't know, testing the patience. I don't know.
People walked out. They hung up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
However you want to say it. They
contemplated kicking all your asses.
That crossed some people's minds at times, too. All right, question 3. Remedy. I think this is supposed to be remember?
Is it a commercial?
It says, do you remedy Hanna-Barbera cartoons? It's probably remember, I think. And which one was your favorite? Heculoids for Life is mine. Enjoyed, gentlemen. I can't wait to hear your responses.
Hanna-Barbera.
What is that?
See, I know. Well, that's like
it's Herculoids. Okay. I think Rob had a couple. He was tipping a few back when he was typing in his questions.
And he has every right to.
No, of course I'm not.
So Hanna-Barbera. Now they did the Flintstones, right? Or am I wrong?
I don't know anything, Nick.
They
did the Flintstones.
The list.
Here's the list.
I mean, that's not my pick, but I'm just trying to get a perspective. As far as cereal, I'm going to go with the Flintstones.
Fruity or Cocoa?
Fruity.
All right, high five.
100,
across the room.
100%
Yeah.
Fruity. Yeah.
Cocoa for me.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Get out. How dare you? We lived in the same house.
I mean, and that was
years.
Scooby-Doo was Hanna-Barbera also, right?
So here's a quick list to let you think about it. Yogi Bear, Flintstones, Jetsons, Huckleberry Hound, Scooby-Doo, Josie and the Pussycats, Top Cat, Wacky Races,
yeah.
Hong Kong Phooey.
That was a good one.
We had an Ace Frehley Wacky Races.
That's what it made me
merchandise.
Think. Johnny Quest, Jabberjaw.
Johnny Quest was a good one.
McGilla Gorilla. I liked that one.
Was Mr. Magoo Hanna-Barbera?
It doesn't appear
I don't
that
think
that's
so.
the case.
Because I like that one.
Oh, Smurfs. Quick Draw McGraw.
Captain Caveman.
Ooh,
Teen
yeah.
Angels.
Speed Buggy, Space Ghost. Peter Potamus. I don't know.
Okay. I think I have my pick.
Birdman.
There's my pick.
Is it?
Yeah, the original. And I know there was the Harvey Birdman where it was supposed to be funny, but the original Birdman, it's really entertaining. It's so straight laced and like plot holy and it's like it's very amusing.
Okay,
very amusing cartoon. I'm gonna go with the original Birdman.
I'm gonna say Hong Kong Phooey. Just politically incorrect. Voice of Scatman Crothers, I believe, as the main character.
And Sublime did the theme song for that Saturday morning album that they came out with in the mid-90s.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, they did the Hong Kong Phooey theme song.
Yeah, it was good.
So was
Johnny Quest was cool, too. I enjoyed that. Flintstones, obvious. I mean, what a great show. Jetsons, cool, of course, as well. A lot of quality stuff.
Mom, what's your...
Mine would be the Flintstones. I used to watch them even when I was in my 20s. I'd come home from work and put them on.
Yeah?
You know, the Flintstones are interesting because I don't know, like, I don't have Boomerang, but that might be the only channel that would play it. But I never see the Flintstones on TV, but the vitamins and the cereal...
haven't gone away.
Are still, like, staples at every single...
That is funny.
Every single store you go to.
Yeah.
People probably think of them as being food products only.
Yeah. I mean,
Younger.
How long has it been since there's been any... Like, they did those John Goodman movies in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Which we saw. I think we saw at the theater. I know I did. I don't know
I don't think I saw those.
Paid money to see that?
I didn't.
We saw the Jetsons movie in the theater.
Yeah.
Like late 80s, early 90s, whenever that was.
I think she paid money to take me to see it in the theater. I don't think I saw the second. I don't think I saw Viva Rock Vegas. I think I was out by that point. I saw the first one, and that was the end of it. So, Flintstones,
didn't see the live action movies. Kind of killed it. Would kill it for me.
I agree.
Yeah. Who was Barney Rubble? Oh, Rick Moranis. That's right.
Yeah.
Many
Rosie
steps.
O'Donnell, Betty Rubble. I don't think so.
Yeah. That is an odd choice now that you think about it.
Bad casting there.
Yeah, that's the only one as far as like the Hanna-Barbera stuff. That's the only one I could think of where they took it that far as far as live action.
That's the only one.
Yeah, I mean there have been parodies and things like on Cartoon Network of some of the others, but I remember Captain Caveman, but there wasn't much to him, was there? Just that he yelled his name really long. So did Birdman.
When he flew through the air?
When Birdman took off to go do something, he yelled Birdman as he was flying.
I don't blame him. That's what I would do if I was going to fly. I would yell my name. It's pretty awesome.
There was Bird Boy, Bird Girl.
On the same show, or were those spin-offs?
I think no. Like, as every once in a while, for some reason, there'd be a younger version of a bird person with them.
Interesting, like Batgirl, Robin, the Boy Wonder,
and yeah, it was so bad that it's really entertaining. Love it.
So, how many steps down is Rick Moranis as Barney Rubble from Mel Blanc as Barney Rubble?
I don't know. Moranis is a good choice, I would say.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with that. It was just the Betty Rubble.
Who was Wilma?
What's her? She was in Big opposite Tom Hanks.
I don't remember her name.
But she was in Miracle on 34th Street.
The remake.
Can't think of her name.
Perkins?
Elizabeth
Perkins. There you go.
Not a bad choice.
No.
Yeah, just that they blew it with Betty Rubble.
Who would have been a better Betty Rubble?
Anyone. B. Arthur would have been a better Betty Rubble. Come on.
But any starlets in the 90s come to mind that would have been
brunettes? I don't know.
Who was popular in the 90s? Who was the it girl?
I don't know, from a brunette standpoint? Jeez, I don't know.
I don't remember anything.
I can't think.
Rosie Perez. There you go. All right. Well, thank you, Rob. for
Were
your
there
questions.
Latinos in the prehistoric era? I don't know if you could make
Chris's
that.
thesis at Michigan State.
I don't know if you could make. I don't know if you could make that character work.
I don't know if you could make that character work.
Well, yeah. I mean, Rosie Perez is as extreme as it gets. I don't know if that would work either.
Yeah, she does a voice on an old kids show that pops up once in a while, and it's even for her voice, she exaggerates it so much. It's difficult.
She's doing a caricature of herself.
Yeah, which is hard, I think, to do to even go farther. It's hard to listen to sometimes.
All right. So let's thank Rob for his Yardo questions. And if you, the listener, wants, if you want to submit a Yardo questions, maybe without so much filth in it, go to potofthunder.com. I'm not talking about Rob.
How
I'm
many
talking
people should be ashamed of themselves?
At least 5.
Wow.
That I went through first.
Come on, people.
And then some others were very, very, very Kiss heavy, like extreme nerdery, which is fine, but I thought that wouldn't be a good one for today. Went through a few of those too. So there you go. Thank you. Go to potofthunder.com. Submit that Yardo questions. Add some songs to the listener submission list, and maybe, just maybe, we'll choose it sometime soon.
Maybe our dad will come in and pick that song.
That would be something.
You never know.
That would be something if he was on. Oh, well. Well, Mom, thanks for coming. Did you have fun?
I did. I want to thank Chris, Nick, and Andy for letting
what?
me come on.
We didn't do anything.
And for putting on such great entertainment every week.
Yeah,
I love it.
This is what that broadcasting degree.
There you go.
This is what it paid for. So here you go, in a bedroom. This is as good as it's gonna get.
That's how you can roll in the modern era.
Well, unfortunately, there's nothing rolling in.
Well, that right.
You never know.
Yet. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, well,
never will know probably either. But, that's okay.
Almost 7 years of yets.
Yep.
Coming at you.
Yep. Waiting on that yet.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
this is fun. Good song choice. A lot of people have been, I'm sure, waiting, wondering when we get some Alice Cooper, and we got one of his best. So very good.
That's good. I'm glad.
Which is your favorite kid?
Oh, stop it.
What about grandkids? Come on.
Oh yeah, favorite grandkid. Spill it.
No, they're all
Spill
my
it.
favorites.
Spill it.
And Nick brought a treat that
I
don't
did
know.
bring a treat.
I'm gonna eat that as
Son
soon
of
as
a
we're
gun.
done.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Who gave you the least amount of grief? Probably Nick. It's probably. I'll answer for you on that one. Probably Nick. I think all good now, but if you had to go through,
Let's look at Andy working over there.
I hit the jackpot with the three of you.
okay. Well, now, but I'm just saying all.
2 of the 3 of them.
No.
Which is the one that's not? That's
Oh,
the real
Jay.
quick. Okay, jeez. Wow.
Yes,
He's gonna make an appearance now. To
every third
refute.
post on my Facebook news feed is one of his comments on a Chicago sports related Facebook account. He just now tore into Joe Madden, is that his name?
Yes.
Cubs manager.
While we were doing the show, there's
Yeah.
one. Wow.
He'll
What
be
is-
shit canned. Everybody knows it. Jay just can't resist.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's funny. I was talking to Jay, and I haven't been paying attention, but the Cubs, I guess, have been blowing it in fantastic fashion lately.
Epic collapse.
And
kind of like last year, but last year they actually made the postseason, not this year.
And Jay's good friends with the Cubs hitting coach, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm actually getting upset with them because of the way the Cubs are playing."
He's mad at his friend.
He's mad at his friend.
He should be. They can't fucking hit.
Well.
All right. Well,
let's have some salted caramel apple cider blondies. What do you say?
And yeah, let's do that. And hey, guys, next month, actually, I should say tomorrow.
That's right.
Is October. Does that mean anything?
What do you think it might be?
We'll see, huh?
Pot of thunder.